soft focus is a take on the soft focus setting from the Yamaha rack effect. It's pretty straightforward. Yamaha published the settings for the rack effect. There are a few differences. Mostly I had to sort of guess at how the modulation section was set up, and also I reversed the order of the reverb and the delay. In the original, the delay comes before the reverb. In this one, the delay is after the reverb. I was getting some really weird and unpleasant modulation with the delay going into the reverb. And, you know, looking at a bunch of other people talking about how they had recreated it in other formats like the fractal or whatever, they, you know, seemed ambiguous about this order. So, you know, basically I looked at the preset notes that Yamaha published and followed the directions. There's no EQ section, which the other one had, but it didn't really do a whole lot as far as I can tell from most people's testimonials. The soft focus was a preset, so, you know, you load it up and it would sound like soft focus. And you could go in and edit the settings of the preset, but most people just sort of used it as a preset. I added a mix because the original was 100% wet, so you could mix it in, and then I put the modulation controls on the front page with a little visual representation of what the modulation is doing. I found that changing the modulation is probably the thing that affects the patch most without making it an entirely different thing. So, you know, the soft focus uses some pretty specific delay times on the left and right channels. If you change those around, obviously it sounds different, but it stops sounding quite like the delay that you're after, or the patch that you're after. But you can change the mod around and get some different things that are still pretty recognizably soft focus. So then the only other things that I did were sort of, well, you know, I got some stomp switches to play with, so I'm going to play with some stomp switches. The left stomp switch will just send the delay into feedback, and I actually set it up so that it would slowly gain amplitude as you went on. So if you hold it long enough, it'll start making a lot of noise. It's not really, you know, I mean, the idea is just sort of to do a momentary but if you really wanted to create a lot of racket, you know, hold it down indefinitely. The middle stomp switch will turn on this light very dimly. You should be able to see that. And what this is an envelope controlled sort of freeze effect. So what it does is it ramps up the decay of the reverb to maximum and holds the note as long as you know, as you hold the note or keep playing. It's built on an envelope follower, so if there's a silence, it'll drop back to the original decay setting, which is about 3.5 seconds. But, you know, you can build up some interesting textures using that, and then because you can always let it fade away with the silence, you know, it's pretty easy to use. And that's my take on soft focus. Thank you.